Hello everyone, I'm Quintessence42, your lone archiver. Or you can just call me Quinn or Quintessence. I have been an avid gamer for a dozen years now, and I've learned a lot through that. Mostly about what I like in games. What I like the most in games is when you can have a little sandbox to experiment and create unique ideas that don't necessarily need to be unique to you, but just unique in general. Because of this, I've mostly gravitated towards strategy games, and any strategy game that gives you build orders or other things you can experiment with, be it different units in Fire Emblem, different classes in Team Fortress 2 with different loadouts, playing with different team comps, and all this other stuff that's been naturally leads into what I like in a game. This leads to Helldivers 2. I have really enjoyed Helldivers 2 and its sandbox systems of bringing 4 stratagems, 1 primary, 1 secondary, and grenades and boosters into missions. I've enjoyed its progression systems in terms of getting samples and trying to survive and extract with them, and then using those samples to upgrade modules that improve your favorite stratagems. I've enjoyed dicking around with friends, getting mad at the game, getting mad at each other, but all in good fun. This brings me to my channel. I'd like to share and archive those experiences with you in a meaningful way so that way you can interact with them and feel like you're part of the group, even if you necessarily aren't. That is the type of content I've loved seeing on YouTube and from other people in general. Because of that, that is what I'm going to try and mimic. Something that you can come home to after a day of work or school and just vibe with people who are, in one form or another, kind of your friends. Because of this, I also want to touch on what I like to do. I like to be informative, but I don't like to speak with that era of confidence, that textbook writings about how to do proper argumentative essay writings or informative essay writings, where you don't use things like, I think, or I personally believe. No, I want to give you my personal opinion. I want you to understand that the facts in front of you are not necessarily the truth, it's just how I think. And when it comes to how I think, I am very contrarian. I love just not ever using what's considered meta. I like using different builds that aren't necessarily even completely viable, but just trying my best to make them work. That does lead to some frustration when something I felt like should work on paper doesn't end up working in practice, but overall I've never disenjoyed that process as a whole. This is more of what I will be sharing with you on this channel, where I will be playing through Helldivers 2, be it alone, with randoms, with people I actually call friends, and just trying to use whatever dumb build I feel like or you suggest to me in the comments below. I'm going to continue to try and upload daily content until the end of the year. However, I have hit a snag. I wanted to experiment and do more than just Helldivers 2 content. I wanted to experiment into the realm of doing other things and experimenting with other experiences I could share with you. This started through a project called Nightfold. Nightfold was supposed to be a Minecraft horror series, but unlike all of the Minecraft horror series I had been seeing at the time, which are mostly focused on big scare factor of, oh, there's Herobrine, oh, there's this new mod we added in that makes everything scary, I wanted to give you the impression that it could be that, but just keep pulling punches and never actually diving into the horror elements of it until I had managed to make my first death. After which things would slowly spiral out into chaos. However, YouTube in its current state absolutely detests any form of branching out context-wise. It wants you to find your niche and stick to it. And you have to stick to that niche until you have the personality and backing that you can afford to, per se, have 1/10 the impressions on your videos because you've tried experimenting with 2 different things. This has greatly disheartened and frustrated me, and it's kind of put into a really good perspective how YouTube has been for many people as a whole, and I've become a lot more sympathetic to the cause of being a YouTuber because of that. This doesn't, however, this motivate me. I'd love to continue making content for Helldivers 2, so that way one day I can prove the algorithm wrong, and I don't just have to keep doing Helldivers 2 to keep having any sort of views. But for the moment, we'll play YouTube's game. I'm good at playing games. However, what I'm not good at is talking long-term and editing. I am a chatterbox per se, but that's only because I'm an extrovert. Being an extrovert doesn't make you a great speaker, it just makes it so that way you want to talk and share things with other people and get motivation and social energy from that. On the editing side of things, I never used to edit my videos. I used to have a lot of videos in this channel. I've unlisted all of them. I haven't deleted them, just unlisted them. So that way, if I ever feel like it, we can go back and view those times as, you know, just a young teenager on the internet making dumb, stupid content. That's kind of in a weird way what I'm going to continue to be doing, making dumb, stupid content that fulfills me and it's fun to share with friends. These won't be clips, mind you. These will be full gameplay commentary videos, which will usually be about half an hour to an hour long. Sometimes if I have a project that I feel like I don't want to let you miss any part of this, I might increase it for full operations, or just, hey, you know what? I'll just give you guys an in-look to an entire night of Helldivers 2 and what it looks like for me and my friends. As one final side note, you may notice in the bottom right of my videos, I use a PNG. That PNG has a name, and it's Arya Silverrune. They are a silly dragon with more hubris than I could ever manage, and are of the copper variety, hence the oxidizing horns and scales you see on the face. They're not going to be that important to this channel, but they'll be there, and you deserve to know about them in this introduction. I think, personally, for many channels, it's nice to have a face, and since I'm not interested in the idea of doing face cam, they're just what we're going to be using as my stand-in for any time you just want something to look at, as if they were talking to you. So, if that interests you in any way, please feel free to subscribe. I have been Quintessence42. As you'll get used to, I wish you a pleasant day or night, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Arrivederci. Okay, I don't have obsidian, but let's just get this enchanting table setup started. Let's just replace these and these here. We need 15 of these, and this should be perfect. And now we just need to replace this torch, which we can do here. And oh, thunder. I suppose we could sleep one last time. Farewell, Nightfold. You were a good experiment.